Hello, so hope I'm live. Wait, yeah, I'm live. Okay, so in this live stream, basically, what we are gonna do is so actually, we know there is a competition in the Kaggle. That name is the RNA 3D folding part 2. Okay, so I'm gonna explain. So हाउ टू अप्रोच एनी कंपटीशन ऑन कैगल। हम ये देखेंगे कि हम कैसे अप्रोच कर सकते हैं कैगल कॉम्पिटिशन्स को सो कैगल कंपटीशन को कैसे अप्रोच कर सकते हैं इसे सो वी कैन टॉक इन इंग्लिश आल्सो सो हाउ वी कैन अप्रोच द competitions on Kaggle. So first of all, you have to be very you have to understand the competition overview or competition very clearly. So in this live stream series we are gonna just taking the competition Stanford RNA 3D folding part 2, and we have got just 21 days to do, and we can do in just 15 days. So so what the competition says is we have to maximize the average of best of 5. Okay, we have to op we have to maximize the average of best of 5. So you okay so first of all what we are gonna do is I have prepared some strategy. Wait, let me bring the water. Yeah, so actually we have to maximize average of best of 5. Okay, so there is a name that is TM score, that is called what? TM score. So it is so the TM score higher is better in this competition. जब TM score higher होगा तो और बेटर होगा लाइक जितना टीएम इसको लाइक ये क्या करता है कि सबसे पहले हमारा स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होने वाला है कि हमें हमारा मॉडल टीएम स्कोर को टारगेट करके हमारा मॉडल टीएम स्कोर को टारगेट करके ट्रेन करना है। ट्रेनिंग मॉडल टारगेटिंग टीएम स्कोर। ये जो टीएम स्कोर है इसको टारगेट करके हमारा मॉडल ट्रेन करना है। वी हैव टू ट्रेन अ मॉडल टारगेटिंग द टीएम स्कोर, राइट? And then we have to generate the 5 diverse high quality candidates. Okay, we have to generate 5 diverse high quality candidates to meet the best of 5. बेस्ट ऑफ 5 मीट करने के लिए हमें 5 कैंडिडेट्स को क्या करना है, हमें जनरेट करना है। ओके सो हम कुछ अप्रोचेस इस सीरीज में ट्राई करेंगे इस कंपटीशन के लिए स्कोर को टीएम स्कोर को हाई बनाने के लिए। फर्स्ट इज डेटा सेंट्रिक अप्रोच। In this approach we are gonna just test the PDB RNA, let me write PDB RNA for pre-training. We have to write PDB RNA for pre-training. Okay, this is the so this is the data set that we are gonna use. Wait, let me check the live stream. Yeah, yeah, it is going perfectly fine. Okay, so data centric approach. So हमें पहले instead of फॉर प्री ट्रेनिंग हमें ये डेटा सेट पीडीबी आरएनए को हमें प्री ट्रेनिंग को लागी फॉर प्री ट्रेनिंग यूज करना है. सो एक्चुअली बिफोर फाइन ट्यूनिंग ऑन हाई टारगेट, बिफोर फाइन ट्यूनिंग ऑन हाई टारगेट, before fine tuning on high target, we have to just basically use the dataset pdb rna for pre-training, and we have to just second data centric approach will be handling the multiple conformations. What that mean? It means just standard standard standardize standardize labels. We have to just so uh, while we have to also handle the multiple conformations. We have to just standardize labels for of the data set. That makes data centric more approach more better. So the next approach we'll do is msa exploration. So okay, so let me also write what is msa exploration. msa exploration. So basically msa, okay, so extracting co-evolutionary signals from multiple sequence alignment. Okay, so that is basically mean extracting the co-evolutionary signals, extracting the co-evolutionary signal from the dataset. Okay, in this data centric approach, and then we have to just select the architecture. The next is architecture selection. This is the key methods to stand out in this competition. In this competition we have to follow the important data centric approach, which includes these steps, which is very crucial before the which is very crucial for first stage. Okay, so after that we have architecture selection. What we are going to do in this architecture selection, using established rna folding framework to save development time. Okay, using rna folding framework, we are going to selecting rna folding framework. Okay, so that's the competition, the competition. This competition rna 3D folding only means we have to maximize average of best of 5, and uh, put that five results, 5 results. Okay, so that is the overall goal, maximizing average of best of 5 of all target. Okay, so nothing is first of all, for this we can just use the data centric approach. Very good approach for the very good approach. Okay, so we are covering the architecture selection, and we are covering the architecture selection. Selecting rna framework, easy for development, easy for development. That is easy for development. Selecting rna frameworks is easy for development. Okay, okay, and the to save development time, and then saving saving development time, development time save करने के लिए saving the development time, and then SOTA performance. Okay, and then we can just we can just do we can just integrate the open source models and refine the predicted RNA structure. जो RNA स्ट्रक्चर प्रेडिक्ट हुआ था उसे रिफाइन करके भी हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हमारे डेटा सेंट्रिक अप्रोच को और अच्छा बना सकते हैं. ओके ओके सो दैट्स द थिंग. सो okay, now this is the data centric approach we will follow in this series. And okay, so and then we have uh okay okay in the advance, when we talk about the the tricks, when we talk about the tricks for this, tricks will be, first will be the LLM embedding. How? Let me explain. LLM embedding. Okay, okay, arranging with sequence to get better result. So okay, so in LLM embedding we generally arrange with sequence to get better result. Okay, and that's the first trick we are gonna follow. And then after second, we are gonna the follow the ensembling the MSA dropout. And then after that, constraint satisfaction, correct, uh, like like constraint satisfaction typically means correct atomic positions. It means correcting atomic position. Okay, so that's the thing we are gonna use in this process. So first of all, okay, so now we are gonna do first thing. When we are approaching this competition, first of all we are gonna create the notebook in Kaggle which will use the CPU, a notebook in Kaggle which will use the CPU. And then we are gonna move into our phase 1. Since we have already understand the competition and what we are gonna do and what will be our approach, then um okay so okay, now we are gonna move into phase 1, that is understanding understanding data structure. Okay, understanding data structure, we are gonna understand the data structure. And then we're gonna understand the data structure. And then like uh, like monitoring monitoring the kernel crashing limits. Okay, हमें we have to also monitor the kernel crashing limits also. So okay, so now let's move on to the Kaggle. So when we move on to the Kaggle, I already created the notebook test, notebook 1. uh, very easy to create that. So you have to just go into the code section, and then you have to just click new notebook. Just wait. Okay, you have to just click to the new notebook and your notebook will be created. So okay, so the first cell. Okay, we are gonna do so this phase include, okay, data sub sampling. Okay, data sub sampling, we have to sub sample the data. Okay, so okay, now let's move on to the next. Okay, understanding the data. Okay, we are just importing the OS operating system. Okay, so uh, gc GC is the garbage collector. Okay, garbage collector for Python. We typically import like import GC. GC is it's the syntax for the इसका syntax is GC है. Okay, okay, so GC इसका syntax है और okay, so the syntax for the GC is that the Python syntax. Okay, so NumPy numerical computing library we all know. Okay, and pandas for the datasets. Okay, and pathly for accessing the path, accessing the path. And now the first step will be as a data scientist on Kaggle to identify the base directory. So for base directory we already have the path. Okay, path. So okay, so you have to go into the competition, and you are gonna see copy file path. Okay, copy file path, and you have to copy that, and then you have to just write a simple one line command, which you define a variable base dir and use the function path, and then you insert your path here. Okay, inside the single quotes or double quotes. Okay, that's a way to define a string in Python. Okay, this is a string. Okay, so relative. Okay, edge case. So now we are gonna do our first edge case for the import section. Let me see the yeah for the import section, that is if our this directory doesn't exist. If our this directory doesn't exist, then what we are gonna do, we are using the relative path, that is relative path. Okay, using the using using the relative path. Okay, so I haven't defined the path yet. Okay, you can just define, you can just okay, okay, now in the last if okay, then we are gonna mm, prints libraries imports status. It just print libraries import status. Okay, nothing rocket science in this cell. Okay, so that's a very simple block. And then next we are gonna move into the safe sequence chunking. Now I have to write okay, so now to solve to code a data science problem, you have to just execute a structure plan. Okay, so that's why our imports and setup is complete. Now the next phase will be safe sequence chunking. Chunking, we have completed this phase. Now we are in this phase. Okay, safe sequence chunking. Okay, safe sequence chunking, we are in this phase. Okay, so in this phase what we are gonna do, let's see. Okay, so okay, we have to sub sample the CSV first. Okay, so okay, I created a function, define a function, some sub sample CSV, and then I have added the file path, and then our norm rows, and then our chunk size of the dataset. Okay, that's nothing hard in it. Okay, so now what I did here. Okay, closely look, I just scan the file. Okay, I just created print f scanning the file. This basically scans the file name. Okay, and prints the file name in this f string, f print f string. Okay, so okay, it just scan the file, and then we have to just we have to check again. We have to prepare edge case if our what doesn't exist, if our file path doesn't exist. Let me see voice is correctly running or not. Okay, if our file path doesn't exist, if our file path doesn't exist, then what we're gonna do, we have to create a python block. If our file path doesn't exist, then we are gonna throw the error. Okay, if not, as we already know, if not file path dot exist function, and then inside this we are gonna write print. Okay, and then f string the file, the file not found, the file not found. Okay, okay, so the file not found. Okay, we are gonna also give the file path here to ensure okay, okay, file not found. Okay, so uh, okay, now the next step will be, now what we are gonna do. Okay, we are into the safe sequence chunking, right? We just created, we just checked, we just now for now we just check if our file path exists or not. If it doesn't exist, just throw the error in the hand, sorry, just throw the error. Okay, if it doesn't exist, just throw the error. So now what we are gonna do, so now say in the safe sequence chunking, now the most, now it is it is di- it is difficult to find out the next logic. Now we have to we have to first, now after it we have to get an iterator. Okay, getting iterator, why we are getting iterator, I will tell. Okay, getting iterator. Okay, getting iterator, iterator that will move across the csv file. Okay, iterator that will move across the csv file. Okay, installizing iterator. Okay, okay, now we are gonna just sorry, we are gonna just install sorry, okay, let's say iterator, iterator. uh, Best practice, if you are installizing an iterator which you have to travel through the data set, you have to, you can just use the try and expect ex, exception as e for avoiding errors. Okay, to make your code more robust and more good. Okay, so okay, now we are gonna create a chunk iterator. Okay, okay, when we instalize a iterator, imagine this is a iterator and this is a data set. We have to also create a chunk iterator that will iterate every chunk. Okay, chunk iterator, chunk iterator. Okay, now chunk iterator, now let's just write it. Okay, chunk iterator. Now what we are gonna do, we are gonna, that's why we imported the pandas, import pandas as pd to read the csv file. Okay, if you are a data scientist, then you will probably know what is the what is the method, what is the method to, or the function, what is the function to get the csv file. Okay, to read the csv file, just, it's just basic thing. You have to just sorry, I pd dot read csv, pd dot read csv, and P, pd dot read csv, is that enough? No, no. What will go in the, first of all, file path will go, and then next is our chunk size will go, chunk chunk size equals, so we have to write our code very carefully to ensure we don't get any errors in the end. So chunk size will be what, chunk size will be, I already defined the chunk size here, as you can see. here. Okay, okay, as you can see here, I already defined the chunk size, and then the chunk size will be the chunk size, and then okay, chunk size, okay, that's the variable that I want. And then after defining a chunk iterator, okay, we have to just okay, now we created a chunk iterator. Now we are collecting the subsets of the data set, collecting the subsets of the data sets. This is the this whole block is the important part of some when you are subsampling the CSV file. Okay, when you are subsampling this CSV file, this whole block is very crucial for your CSV file. Okay, so this is very crucial for your CSV file. Okay, so now subsampling this CSV file, this is chunk iterator, and then we are gonna just create the subset. Just easy, what you to create a subset, you have to use a function that call next, gets the next, that is our chunk iterator. And then we have to just get the head. Okay, dot head, first five, like if you are a data scientist, you will probably know these methods, or sorry, these functions use, what is the use of this, so that is very simple. So head, and then you are gonna just pass the num rows. Okay, you are gonna just pass num rows here. Okay, uh, the num rows is massive row. We are just creating a safe subsampling function that safely handles the all row. Okay, so okay, num rows, and then just we are gonna do um, our subset is created. We're gonna just getting the next chunk iterator, and then printing getting the head, okay, of num rows. Okay, now we are gonna return the subset from this try block. Okay, we're gonna return the subset from this try block. Now let's move to expect exception. I hope my syntax and spelling is correct. Yes, it is definitely correct. Why it will not? Okay, let me see again. Okay, it is fine. Expectation at C. Okay, this is a part where we will tell through the error. Just error reading the file. You know what file we were reading, that is file path. That is file path. Okay, file path, we are just reading, we was reading the file path, and then dot um let's say, okay, let's why I'm using the dot name everywhere. Okay, because it just returns the name of the file path. Okay, the file. Okay, okay, now we have to just place e here. Okay, exception. Okay, now we are gonna just return none from this block. Okay, now the iterator is done. That is a very big achievement for us, because our safe sequence chunking is also done. Now what's the next? Now sorry, safe sequence chunking is not done. Okay, sequence chunking is not done yet. Our iterator installizing is done. Now what's the next? Okay, now what is the next rocket science here? Not rocket science, sorry, it is very simple thing. um okay, just you have to just know the mathematics, and then approaches, and you have to perform EDA. We are just performing data analysis. Just we are just performing some subsampling, this CSV sequencing, safe chunking. This is okay. So we are trying to make the robust script which can generate a more better performance. Okay, so that's our goal. Okay, now let's bring the water and I will be right back in just few seconds. Okay, hello. Okay, I'm back, and then I know, I know there are not viewers because the viewers are that person who is extremely legend, who is extremely following this, who is following this type of content. How 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 a person solves, how a machine learning student solves this type of problems, and the person who loves to code, that person only watches this type of streams. So I don't care about this. We're just preparing the robust script for that. Okay, now this next step looks very difficult to approach i- because now we already defined the iterator, and then now the next thing will be we have to we have to prepare the train sequences. Okay, just I have to just explain that thing so you will um, understand easily. uh, I'm okay. So uh, okay, hope my voice is correctly coming. Okay, we are just gonna give this phase one a bit time, maybe 5 hours, or maybe 3 hours now from now. Okay, so now this requires patience. Okay, so you have to just keep you have to just put your eyes lock in my code, and how would I solve the competition, and how would I solve the questions. Okay, so you have to just put the put the eye lock on the code. Okay, so nothing to worry about your experience skill. Okay, so now let's move on to the next phase. What will be our next phase? We already seen, we already collected the subset of the data sets. As you can see, by initializing iterator we have collected the subsets and then return the subset. No rocket science here. Again, I will say how many time I have to say you, no rocket science here. Okay, okay, now the next phase will be collecting the training sequences. Okay, sorry, train sequence subset. So we have to just now the next phase is our you will probably get okay, so now we have to go out from the subsample csv function, because it is already returning all the subset we want. Okay, by initializing the chunk iterator. Okay, so now what we are gonna do is initializing the train sequence train sequence subset. Okay, train sequence subset. Now what we are gonna do, we are gonna use sample csv function, sample csv function here. And okay, train sequence, the next phase will be to create to, to create uh to create sample csv, to create, train sequence or sequence. You have to just create the subset of train sequence. Okay, subset of subset of train, uh, train sequence, train sequence. Okay, uh okay, now, okay, hope my voice is coming. Yes. Okay, subset of train sequence. Okay, subsample.csv is our created function. And then lot of people doesn't know what the code does, and they just copy and paste the code, and they get a lot of error. Now you look difference. What happens if you write your code by yourself, thinking and developing knowledge, and in the other side. Okay, now let's perform the okay, now what our okay, now base dir dir yes, base dir. Okay, base dir is our file path, right? Because our file path was the base dir. This is just argument. Okay, so doesn't, no need to worry. This is just, I am just passing argument to the parameter, for the parameter file path. Okay, base dir. Okay, so now does it enough? Because we are just creating the subset for the train sequence subset, and just this subsample csv just return this subset. Okay, now what we're gonna do, inside the base dir, you have to just see, you get the file name. Let's open. Probably you will get the train, so this is test sequence. Okay, train sequence.csv. Okay, 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 so train sequence sequences train sequences dot csv is our is our is our train sequences file, and we are gonna extract subset through our already made function. We already made a function to create the subset, so that's how we are gonna create the train sequences subset. And then our num rows will be how many? Our num rows will be, let's look at the csv file. 1 2 3. Okay, what will be our num rows now? Okay, num rows will be, since we are just extracting the training sequences subset, then we can just initialize the numbers 5 here. Okay, so uh, now the now the training subset sequence is done. Now let's create another sequence subset. Okay, subset, what that mean? This is validation sequences dot csv. This is validation sequences dot csv. Okay, so now since we have a validation strategy, that is cluster sequences at 30% identity. What our validation strategy, what um, our validation strategy, what was our validation strategy? 30% identity split. Okay, 30% identity split to avoid. Okay, sorry, my voice was gone. Now we are gonna check one thing. If our train sequences dot csv, if our train sequences dot csv is not known, is our not known, then what we are gonna do, what we are gonna do, we will we will do what, we will just we will just uh, display display the target id. We will just display the target id. Okay, target id. Okay, so now let's write code for it. If our train sequences, okay, sorry, train sequences subset is not, it is just like Python is just like English language, so simple, right? So no need to worry about it. If train sequence offset is not known, then what we're going to do, first of all, the very important thing, you have to use a display function to display the train, train and train sequence subset, train sequence subset. And what we're going to do, print f string. Let's apply f string. Okay, we're gonna do target id. As you know, we are gonna get the target id in subset, target id in subset. Okay, okay, let me see where the target id is. uh look, target id is the first lies on when you are applying the ilock here, you get this target id in first row means 0, and then 0 comma uh, first row 0, and then first column 0 0. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, now now train id in subset. What was the column name? I forget again. Sorry, what was the column name? We don't have to make mistakes now. Target id. Okay, target id, just like target id. Train sequence subset. Just do we have to do what? We have to just apply the target and then id and getting it values. We all know we can get the values from dot values attribute. Okay, so now our safe sequence chunking is done. Just let's quickly look what we done in the second cell. Okay, let's quickly look what we done in the second cell. As you can see, so second cell okay, what we done, we just we just created a subsample CSV that basically returns the subset by using the chunk iterator, as I saw the logic of it, and you get the train sequence subset from it, and then value sequence subset. Okay, so nothing complex here. So now you just check if your train sequence subset is not empty, then first of all let it be displayed, and then target what and just have to return the target id uh, from the train sequence subset. I just showed you the column target id and dot values, its values. Okay, so its dot values. So that's the logic um, for this block. So let's execute it now. I'm pretty sure it can face error of like okay, so let's tackle the error. Yeah, name error. Name subsample CSV is not defined. What do you mean? Okay, you get. I just did a very idiot thing mistake here. See, you will probably laugh. See, I just named subsample CSV is not defined, and see, I just named the function subsample CSV without the underscore here, and I'm just using the subsample CSV function name in down. What can I say now? Okay, now let's execute it. Okay, scanning the okay sample CSV. What I'm doing? Sample CSV. Okay. Okay, it is correctly scanning the train sequences.csv. Let's look the next. Yes, now that's called the real power of when you write code by yourself, by identifying the logic. You will probably get some syntax mess up, okay, nothing big errors. Okay, now next thing we're gonna do what thing? Cell 3, understanding the 3D format. This is a very critical cell. Okay, now we are very happy we have just created this with cell 3. What will be it? Cell 3 will be of understanding the 3D format. Understanding the 3D format. Okay, understanding the 3D format. We have to just understand the 3D format. So okay, now let's understand the 3D format. So what will be our approach for okay understanding the 3D format. Okay, understanding the 3D format, just simple as you know. Now there is required of very high understanding of how you are gonna get those inspect levels, and then you are gonna target you are gonna define the specific target, and you are gonna uh, tackle with the chunk iterations, and then you're gonna just okay, so we have to just do some 3D formatting things here. Now the 3D things. Okay, now we are gonna. It is very hard block right now. Okay, but we are gonna tackle it. So you came into code with Sangam. Okay, so nothing. We can just do everything here. Okay, so that's why we have to try to understand the 3D format. Okay, now I have prepared my copy and my pen, so let me understand what we are on next step. So now our next step will be, first of all, the thing we can do is just I'm just feeling okay. The next thing we can just do is inspect the levels. Okay, so we have to just inspect the levels. Okay, we have to just look closely the levels. We have to just look the levels. I'm not talking about levels, I'm talking about labels, the output. Okay okay I'm just talking about the output. The dependent variable, that is level. The dependent variable, not independent. I'm not talking about feature. I'm talking about the dependent variable. I have to just look closely the dependent variable. So what we're gonna do, what we are gonna do here. Okay, now let's just write the just create the function. inspect the Inspect the what, we have to just inspect the labels, our independent variables. That is our, we know our norm rows is 10, and then our specific target will be none. So I will tell later why we initialize this specific target. Okay, now I will tell later to you. Okay, inspect levels. Now now the thing is now you have to do just one thing here. Okay, now let's write the doc string first. Okay, so this helps us see all residues for a single RNA string. Okay, this function helps us to see all residues for single RNA string. Okay, we can just see residues. Now you are gonna probably think, what is residues? Okay, so the residues are a small amount of materials, chemicals, or I will just write there. Okay, residues, small amount of material, chemical, uh, substances remains after filtering. Okay, filtering. small material or chemical substances that remain after filtering. We have just have to look for residues in a single string, a single RNA string. Okay. Okay, so that's the thing we want. And what will be the arguments of the function? The argument of the function is first of all numbers, or the number of rows, and then the second argument we got. Okay, so the data type will be numbers, will be of integer, and then our specific target is specific target, that will be uh, data type of specific target. uh, so target, that is data type of non speci specific specific selected target, specific selected target. Okay, so now what this function returns. Now we have to clearly understand what this function just returns. Now, okay, I'm just having difficulties to talk because of cold, you know. Okay, okay, now let's write the function from here. Okay, so now what we are gonna do here, okay. Now the thing we can do is, first of all, we have to track the file path. We know what is the file path. You will probably know what is the file path. That is our file path. What is our file path? Or base dir. Inside our base dir, what is our file path? That is train levels.csv. We are just inspecting the levels, that's why we selecting the train levels. Okay, for testing you can just select the test levels. Okay, train levels. Okay, that's fair enough. Train levels.csv, that our file path uh running brilliantly. So now just you are you have to just do one thing here. Okay, another edge case, just you have to just create a variety of edge case where which you can tackle the every situation to make the robust script. Okay, if file path uh, if file path if not file path dot exist, if it not exist. Okay, exist spelling is correct, right? So print just you have to just write the file doesn't exist, can you check the path again. Let's just add the f string again here. You, adding more multiple f string makes the code more better. File path. Okay, uh okay, and then we are gonna just do one thing here. Okay, now we are gonna just return the return known from this function. Yeah, we have to just return the known from this if block, and then And then the next thing we will probably do is that getting that chunk iterator again for this. What sorry, I just wrote this. Getting that chunk iterator again, that will iterate in the chunk. Pd dot read csv, and it will just go to the file path. Okay, file path, and then chunk size equals 1. uh, Wait, just mm, for safety, I'm just adding 10,000. Okay, I'm just adding 10,000 chunk sizes here. You can just add it like this, but I'm adding like this. Okay, so you have to just remember key syntaxes. Okay, now we have already defined the chunk iterator. Okay, now if specific specific target. Okay, if specific target. Now what we're gonna do here, look closely. Wait, just wait. I have to bring some hot water, so patience is key. So thanks for okay, so patience is key for success. If you want better result, then you have to maintain good level of patience. So now it basically says if our specific target value is true, then execute this block. So now we are gonna iterating the chunk. Okay, in the chunk iterator. Okay, with using the for loop. Okay, chunk, we are gonna iterate the chunk, and then we are gonna look. Wait, I have to just see a column there. Where is our train levels? And after opening the train labels, okay, uh, target. Okay, wait. Okay, hello, can you hear me? Probably you will. What happened? Okay, so we were just looking for the mm, for in the dataset. So now we have to take the pads pads PARSED pads target. What is mean by pads? A string or logical syntax. Okay, we have to extract the string target. Okay, so now the okay, for this we are gonna just to to extract this okay, pass target, that pass target in means basically using these symbols like x underscore y underscore 1 and z underscore 1. So now the thing we are gonna do is we're gonna just create a column pass target PARSED pass target, and then we are gonna just do one thing. We're gonna just again go into chunk, and then we're gonna just get we saw the column. Let's look at again. Yes, you're gonna see ID here. Okay, ID, and then what we're gonna do, dot apply. And now we're gonna use the lambda lambda essential component, essential syntax of Python, okay, essential method of Python, which I can use x for this functions, x to r split, x function to r split into a underscore. You can just see, let me explain what is mean by the r split. Okay, what is mean by the r split in Python? Okay, so now splits a string into a list of substring. It just split a string into list of substring. Okay, comma what we're gonna do, it is just like looking complex, but believe me, it is too easy, and we're gonna just get the first index from here. And okay, now now no rocket science here. We just split the pass target, use which includes the underscore. We just creates a substring here, r is split. Okay, creates the substring, string into substring, and then we are gonna create a match variable that uh, that will just check that will just return true if if our chunk of if our chunk of if our chunk of parse parse target, if our parse target is. Now you will probably wonder, what rocket science is this? This is not rocket science. Okay, this is just, you have to just understand the flow of it. Okay, now if the chunk pass targets is, if it is equals to specific target. Okay, if it is equal to specific target, what our specific target, it is our specific selected target. Okay, okay, specific selected target. And now you can just see from here, specific selected target. Okay, okay, now it just fine. And now if not, okay, okay if okay, let me just do one thing. okay, if not match, if the match is not empty, then what we are gonna do? If the match which have which just returns true, if the past target is which equals the target, if that match is not empty, then what we're gonna do? Okay, just look close at it. We have to just return the match dot head. Our first, if you know pandas, sorry, if you know, then uh, it just return the first five rows. Okay, so sorry, not first 5 rows. Dot head returns the upper upper first first rows. Okay, we have to just return if the match selected match is not empty here. Now the thing we are gonna do here, now, else condition. Instead of creating else, you can just write there the we can just write the target specific target. Now you will say, hey Sangam, why didn't you use the F string here? I just forget to use the F string, so don't mind. Is our this is equals that? Yes. Uh, target target uh, seems to be not founded in first check. Okay, check. Okay, now we just created a rocket science here again. Now, okay, so the next thing is we have what we have to return from this if block. What, let's get in this. Okay, uh, okay, now we are gonna, okay, if that, okay, sorry, okay, otherwise the return none from here. And now we are gonna constructing the else block. On the else block, what it will have, sorry, some what, why it is going there. You have to maintain in sorry, you have to maintain the you know uh, indentation in Python by tab space. Okay, okay, now if else, the match is empty. If the match is empty, match, what is match? The match is basically returns true. The match is basically chunk of past target equals specific target. Okay, basically checking a boolean, like with a boolean type data. Okay, data type. Okay, now we are in the else block. We're gonna just return the next chunk iteration, that head of the norms row. We're gonna just return the next chunk iterations, next chunk iteration, and then next chunk iteration dot head of norm rows. Okay, head of norm rows, so that's our, okay, now, okay, now the script looks pretty good at this moment. Now let's move on to this indentation, and now we're gonna just create the level subset, inspect levels with using the function. We have to go outside the function, okay, we have to go outside in the block of the function. Now label subset equals inspect let's just drop a space, maintaining a good practice while maintaining the code in the AI and machine learning industry. Sorry, what I'm saying, I don't know. Inspect labels, inspect labels, inspect labels, and what is our parameter? Norms rows and specific target we don't have to pass. Norm rows equal to what? Norm rows equals 5 from this position. Okay. And at the top it will update to 10 for now. In default it will have just 5. If the labels subset is not known, if the label subset is not known, then what we're gonna do, just display the label subset, and we are gonna just print. Oh, you just noticed here, I just forget to add s here. Labels, maybe I have done some syntax error up there. I don't want to look at this rocket science script. Label subset, now we can just print. Sorry, what I am doing, bro, I didn't mean to print that. Human brain goes out of wild. Okay, I already displayed that. Okay. Woohoo. the the script worked. Now, okay, inspect labels. We looked our labels closely. We look our labels closely. Now let's test and debug our script. Let's see what happens now. uh, Now let's just dry run this script also. Now in this script we are just getting the file path. If the file path doesn't exist, then we have to just throw the error and return on, and then we have to just initialize the chunk iterator, which will just iterate this csv file, flow in the data, and if the specific target uh, uh, is true, if that value is correct, then we have to just execute this block where we have to get the chunk, and then we have to get the pass target that acts. I have just shown you, like you can just see here, trend levels, you can x1 y1, and then you have to just apply a lambda function where we get the pass target by splitting the string into this, and getting the index error. Okay, so now match. Okay, so getting match. Okay, if that pass target is equal specific target, then it is a boolean type checking, and if that match is not empty, then we return the head of the match. Okay, first some rows of the match, and if not, then the target seems to be not found in first check, else we have to just return the next chunk iteration dot head nums, and then in the next thing, what uh, in we are just extracting the subset of the label inspect subset by using our own function, and if that is not known, then display label. Okay, so let's test our script. Okay, invalid syntax. This is what I'm expecting. Let's look closely. What is our error? It says invalid syntax in line 29. Else, what I just mess up here, I don't know it. uh Else, why do it throw the syntax error? Wait. Okay. Does my voice is coming? Yes. Why did it throw this syntax error? Oh, sorry. I'm just what I'm doing, yaar. I just messed up everything. This is the for block. Yes, it is. If else, okay. Okay, now our code is successfully executed. Our script worked. Now the third inspecting the levels, looking the levels closely, inspecting the levels is also done now. Okay, inspecting the levels is also done. When we inspect this is our id, this name acts as one, and the script work, which uh, which looked our levels closely. Yay. Okay, now the thing we are gonna do now it's creating this cell 4. Now safe msa parsing, our cell 4 is safe msa. Let's just create the safe msa parsing script also to complete our data structure, and handling the crashing limit of the kernel, and then safe. Okay, safe. Safe msa parsing. I just want to show you this is the difference between when you write code, okay, by yourself, and because machine learning and data science is not a thing to vibe code. Okay, so you have to just understand and try to avoid that thing, so you will your skill will get more better. And okay, so that's okay. Now the next thing is we're gonna do is save msa script. Okay, save msa parsing. What is mean by safe msa parsing? So first of all let's sail for safe msa parsing. What is mean by msa? First you have to just understand what is mean by the msa. It's called multiple multiple system atrophy. Multiple system atrophy parsing means, what is mean by parsing, what is the meaning of term parsing? Okay, you have to just understand and break down into smaller components. You have to just remember the, like Elon Musk said, like we apply the first principles thinking on each and every steps. Parsing is the process of analyzing and breaking down. Okay, parsing is the process of analyzing and breaking down. Now we are gonna just do the like breaking the msa into smaller components, like multiple system atrophy, and we're just do do parsing on this is a very important script in this final block. So we are gonna just write the code. Okay, now since first of all the first thing will be do is to create a function parse parse specific def parse specific MSA. Okay, MSA is mean by what I have wrote there. You can just note down, and let's pass in parameter target ID from argument. I will say what is target ID now. um, Target ID from our files. Okay, so it is just easy like that, so nothing to worry about it. Okay. Okay, now parse specific MSA. Now what we're going to do now, what we can do now, what this function does, this is very important. This called standard engineering. Let me just tell you the standard engineering. When you are writing code, doc string is very important. When you are doing standard engineering type hinting and doc string is very important. Type hinting means defining a type. When you are defining a type, this is target ID. Okay, imagine if my target ID is in integer, then it will be integer like that. If my target ID is in float, then it will be flo float float. If my target ID is in string, if that this means the type hinting for this, it will be str. Okay, so you have to just maintain this standard engineering. So common, first of all you have to just write what this function does. Reads the multiple sequence. Sorry, not system atrophy, sequences alignment. Okay, safe MSA parsing is multiple sequence alignment, where you align the multiple sequence. Read the multiple sequences alignment file for a single target string. W- for a single target string, we just read the multiple sequences alignment file for a single target string. Okay, target, what I'm messing up here, yaar. I'm just messing the spelling just. And what our argument is, first of all, target id. Let's the id of our target it as present in the files. And the next thing, that is the okay, just wait. Okay, okay, so just my mom came in, so ignore. Okay, so target id as present in file, and the arguments and what this function returns. We're just getting the okay, returns a single list of header, and then a sequence header, and then sequence tuples as a tuples. Okay, so that's the thing you have to do while writing the code. You have to just make it to make it robust, you have to just code. So MSA file, what is our MSA file? Okay, let's just write string. What is our base dir inside our base dir? What is it? The MSA file is just call MSA inside this okay, MSA folder. It is just MSA folder. MSA folder, inside this all MSA folder. Inside the MSA folder all files are there. Okay, MSA files are there. Okay, now we are gonna move into the actual MSA file path. Okay, actual MSA file path, which will go to MSA file and go into the again, let's just write the f string here, f string, and then target id, target id dot msa dot fasta. Okay, wait, let me confirm. Yes, our target id dot msa dot fasta. Okay, dot msa dot fasta. Okay, okay, now actual msa file path we have got. And now if not, again developing the edge case, sorry, if not actual msa file path, check the file path again, check the file path again, actual msa file path, check the file. You have to just insert the f string here. Now okay, now check the and this just return nothing. Okay, now we are gonna move into the sequences equals empty list, and then now we are gonna just initialize our current header. You can just see our let's take an example. Okay, current header b just empty string, and then our current sequence b just empty list. Okay, just empty list, and then we're gonna open the msa file with open actual path of msa file, and as a write mode, sorry why I'm doing this, as a read mode, sorry, I mistakenly said write mode, as f. Okay, for line in f going to the each line, then line will be stripped, line dot strip strip, line will be stripped, and then if not line, uh, if not our line, then we can just continue from here. If our line not doesn't exist, or if our line is not there, then we can just retry the loop. Just I'm just revise you the meaning of continue in loop again. The continue in loop basically state uh, to skip the current iteration and proceed to the next one. So we are just skipping the current iteration and proceeding to the next one. If our line is not, if the actual line didn't exist, then what is the meaning of executing again forward? Okay, if the line now what we can do is, if our line also starts with the starts with the that greater than, uh, then we have to check if our value of current header is true. If our value of current header is actually true, then we have to just append sequences that append, have to just append the what we have to append, have to just append the current header. Okay, now let's just do one thing. We have to just append what, Okay, let's make joining this sequence. Okay, joining the sequence. To join this sequence, which I will join by like dot join join the current sequence, and then just append there, like first of all append the current header, and then after appending the current header, like just placing the wait, yeah, current header, and just placing the joining the sequence, like joining sequences, appending the joining the sequences on the you know sequences empty list. And then now, is that syntax is even correct? Yeah, yeah, it will probably will be this. Okay, this block, this will include this both. Okay, it is definitely correct. Maybe it is correct. Okay, now we have to just do one thing. We have to just leave from the with block, and okay, inside the we are ensuring we are just parsing the MSA. Okay, parsing the multiple sequences alignment. Okay, parsing. Okay, okay, now we are gonna just print target id target id found in our target. Oh, sorry, what I always do here. Target id found in found length of the sequences, length of the string sequences. I mean length of that is correct. Yeah, it is correct. Okay, found length of the evolutionary homologous. So what is homologous? I have already reviewed the data set. So homologous is basically means by like same relations, like okay. Oh, it's just hard, like okay, fine. Okay, I'm not sure my script will even work or not. I'm not sure will my script will run or not even. I'm not sure about this block because I've just messed up with uh, I'm just pausing the MSA multiple sequences alignment. I'm just opening the file and then stripping that, and then if that is shared with this, and then if the current header is true, then I'm just joining the sequence, and then I'm just appending the current header and then sequences on the same. I'm just printing the found the homologies, similarities between them. Okay, So now this function just return the return. I can just sequences. Okay, this function just returns sequences. Okay, now we are pretty familiar with the script. Now we are pretty familiar with the data sets. Okay, so now our function is done. It looks more robust. Okay, so now I'm getting bored really. It is 1:47 p.m. and I have already spent 1 hour 40 minutes on this notebook just writing this script. Okay, which okay, now let's mm, let's execute the new phase. That is, I'm unable to think the next phase. What our testing the train sequence of the subset when we just get yeah, we just return the sequences and train sequence. Yeah, we have the subsets of we just also inspect the levels. Yeah, train sequence subset. Now we need the subset train sequence subset. Okay, now the thing we will do is if the train sequence subset is in the globals, means I'm gonna explain you the globals function. Okay, uh, globals function basically refers to the function that returns a dictionary representing the current global state. Okay, that returns a dictionary representing the current global states. Okay, and train sequence subset is not known and not I'm just writing English here, just look at this block. Okay, uh, just look at this block. Non and not is not non and not. I just mean if the train oh, have it matched to that train sequence. Let me see. Yes. If the train sequence is not known and not train sequence subset is not empty, then what we can do, then we can just define a sample target on it. Sample target will be what? Train sequence subset dot ilog. Why now now you will probably get confused what method I am using, where I am using. Now I am using the ilog. This is a very basic uh, met, uh, basic function. You should know what is ilog. You will probably get confused what is ilog. It is Python pandas. Remember the pandas. First of all, I am just giving you the time to remember the ilog. What does ilog do? A pandas library. Okay, so a, a pandas special type of one special type of thing which we can locate the. First of all, we'll just search in the first row. and we'll just search for the target id probably. That's how you get this syntax error. Sample target. Okay, okay, now we have to just test testing the data is testing the data streamers, testing these data streamers on target target sample target. Okay, our sample target uh, NSAS pass. Okay, specific MSA our function, and we have to just pass the sample target here. Or just testing for testing the data streamers, parse specific target. Okay, if MSCS value is true, then what we're gonna do? If what a rhyme. If MSCS value is true, then what we're gonna do? If MSCS value is true, then what we're gonna do? We're gonna just print the top header. Okay, okay, just print the top header is MSAS 0 comma 0. Okay, sorry, not comma. My brain is, it's currently 2 a.m. and what I'm doing. MSAS, my brain will mess up like in middle. Okay, so I have to avoid that, and header and print the top MSA sequence, the top MSA sequence MSAS, and then 0, and then getting the first index. Oh, sorry, and ignoring the row and getting sorry, yeah, 0 to 50, right? So okay, now the yeah, we can just get the MSAS from here. Okay, parse, we can just get the MSAS and check the MSAS. Let's run the code. Safe MSAS parsing. So now safe MSS parsing is also, we have to check with. Okay, first of all, it's a multiple sequences alignment file for a single target str target. Okay, returns a single list of header sequence tuple as a tuples MSA file. We know we access the MSA file using this, and then we opened, and then we strip, and if our line start with this, and then we just join and then just append in the sequence, and then we just check if our train offset is in global and train sequence offset is not known, and the train sequence offset this will probably look like Mahabharata to you, but sorry, I'm saying, this will probably look like rocket science to you, but believe me, when you understand it is very easy. Dot empty, and then sample target will be train sequence offset dot I location, based on the index 0, and then target id, and then okay, okay, now print. Okay, you can just print. I'm just printing the testing the data sam for testing the data streamer. We'll use the sample target that I said here, and we create a MSAS, and that is pass specific MSA. We execute our function and return the sequences from here. Okay, I return the sequences from here, and then return the sequences from here, and then we just check the header and then top. Now the all phases of the first phase. What was our first name of the first phase? Understanding data structure, monitoring and cloning classic limit. We have understand the data structure. We have done import and setup. We have just checked the safe sequence chunking, and then we have just inspect the levels, and we have just we just we just complete MSA parsing. Means we have completed most part of the EDA. We have understand the data set. We have just get those inside. Okay, let me run first. Now okay. Okay, 40 NA. What happened? Wait, I'm not sure what happened here. Wait, found zero homologies. Found zero homologies. Why it is not? Okay, fine. Found zero homologies. Our script is correct and interpreting a correct result. Okay, so now, okay, so so it is all done. Now, now the we have just inspect the level, and now we are pretty sure with our output. With our output, we can just see output, and we can just we can just produce the better results now. With those phases, this is an important step when you are approaching the Kaggle competitions. So let's name it like phase 1. Phase 1 phase 1 What will be the phase 1? The phase 1 is data data subsampling, like understanding the data structures. Data subsampling, which you can say what why phase 1 data subsampling, okay, and ensuring kernel limits. Okay, now, okay, now it is done. Now let's save version and then run in quick save. And now the notebook is currently learning and will be produced in the second. Let's wait for correct results. If our code was wrong, or something bad result was produced, I will immediately check the MSA file tomorrow, and then I'll just validate the result. And then if our data subsampling process executed successfully, then um then it is just good. Then we can just move forward. That means that means that means you can that means we can perform better. Next, we have to just let's for now, we will not make this public for now, because we okay we can just make it public also. So okay, so that's how we perform the phase one. Okay, so that's how uh, you can approach Kaggle like this way. You have to not approach Kaggle like copying everything of competition and doing this and trying to complete everything in one day. Just we have just done, I think, 1% of our competition in just our first day. So that was, and I have I have just put it just take me like 6 to 7 pages of copies of system, preparing system design for making this just this flows, making these simple flows. Okay, so this is just done for today. So now I have to end the stream. So good night. So let's see you in the stream too. Okay, so perform the write the code by yourself to ensure you get successful results. So bye.